Om lokaha samastaha suki no bhavantu. May all beings be happy and peaceful. Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Phoenix here. Welcome to my channel. Let's get serious. Over the last couple of days, Binance has seen almost $4 billion in withdrawals in just 48 hours in Ethereum and Ethereum-based tokens, over 3 billion worth, and almost $1 billion in Bitcoin. What is the reason? Of course, the FTX fiasco. There's a loss of trust in exchanges in general. Many people are reverting back into stablecoins and actually pulling their funds and putting them back in the bank. And I think that this is the worst possible thing that we can be doing right now. But people are saying, well, what are the alternatives? Well, I know one in particular, and I'm going to share it with you today. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about the new bill, the Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Bill of 2022 that Senator, what's her name? Doesn't really matter. Elizabeth Warren is trying to pass through Congress right now, which is basically going to restructure or redefine what they call MSBs, money service businesses. And they're wanting to include miners, validators, and self-custody wallets under this umbrella term and require heightened KYC and AML procedures. And so basically anybody with a self-custody wallet is required to be identified under this. And also they are taking steps to ban privacy coins and digital asset mixers such as Tornado Cash. And so they're basically trying to remove anonymity from cryptocurrency. So the reason that I mention this is because there's an obvious war against cryptocurrency. We all have seen this coming for many years now, and we're sort of reaching a climax. And a lot of people out there, myself included, have been wondering, okay, I've been mostly in crypto, pulled out of stocks because of the manipulation there. And I've been mostly in crypto for the last several years now and wondering, okay, I want to diversify because I do believe in the future of cryptocurrency, and I don't believe that they're going to be able to destroy it because of its decentralized nature. But at the same time, from a practical standpoint, we have to be reasonable, and maybe it means that we temporarily diversify. Now, the question is, what do we do? Most people are just removing their money and putting it back in the bank, which is, as we know, the worst possible place that it can be, because it is subject to fiat devaluation there. And of course, banks aren't as safe as people believe them to be. Bank accounts can be frozen, as we have seen with Canada and other countries as well. So what are the alternatives? Well, the main one that's coming to mind for me personally, that I am actually personally exercising, is moving into gold and silver storage vaults, which is basically like a savings account, but better. It's a store of value. Now, assuming that the price of gold and silver is going to at least stay the same, but most likely go up in the coming months and years, this would be a pretty good bet. Now, the question is it something that can be easily done? Is it possible to transfer directly from cryptocurrency to gold and silver? Yes, actually, there are several ways to do that. And I want to share one in particular with you. But first, let's have a discussion about the utility of precious metals. Now, I don't consider myself to be a gold bug. Actually, usually I reserve that term for boomers such as Robert Kiyosaki, who I can constantly hear yelling in my ear that it's God's money.
Gold is God's money. This is God's money. This is what God's money looks like.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with him about that. And you can't argue that gold has been a tremendous store of value, that it was the original reserve currency, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And gold has a lot in common with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but specifically Bitcoin, in that it is of a finite supply. Of course, that can be argued because we're always discovering more gold mines. It is mined, right? It has the qualities of durability. It is universally recognized. And of course, it's not as portable as Bitcoin, but actually that is changing with these these vaults that enable you to purchase any amount of gold and to have it, to be sovereign in your ownership of that, to be able to take possession of it at any time, to take delivery if you'd like, and to convert it into other forms of precious metals. And so there's a great deal of flexibility that in previous years just didn't exist. Before, you had to buy it, have it shipped to your house and hide it under your mattress or something like that. But now there's actual vault facilities scattered throughout the planet that are serving as banks for the ultra elite, the wealthiest people on the planet. And gold and silver and other precious metals are still being used as a currency to buy and sell. And there are certain advantages to owning precious metals. Of course, it's not a security, it's not a commodity. It doesn't fall under any of the rules and regulations that stocks do, that cryptocurrencies eventually will, the Forex market, all of these different ways of owning these different investments that we can make. Among them, gold sort of is in a category all to itself. Gold and silver and all the other metals. And so it is definitely worth exploring. Now, I know that at first it can be rather daunting, as it was for me, but it's actually a relatively simple process. Let's just say, hypothetically, that you're a trader like me. I can use myself as an example. I have a certain amount that I've allocated for trading, and then I have a certain amount that is in stables that I've been waiting patiently to invest. Now, let's face it, I don't see myself purchasing spot anytime in the coming months, okay? So even if it's just 1 or 2 or 3 months out, I'm just holding it in stable coins. So that's a stable value, but that value is directly tied to the value of the US dollar, okay, a fiat currency. And we know that that's steadily being devalued. And so what is the best bet if we have stable coins and we plan to have them for more than a month or a couple of months? It seems to make sense that we should diversify. And of course, this is not financial advice, but I'm just thinking out loud. It makes sense for me to diversify into precious metals and to take those 50% or more of my trading funds that I'm not actually trading with and buy gold and silver in different proportions, okay? So I wanna talk first, let's look at the charts first, and then I'll show you the process and give you an example of exactly how I will be doing it. So let's have a look at the silver chart first. You can see that it rose all the way to around $50, and it's pretty far off from its all-time highs here. We're down about 50, almost 52% from there. And if we zoom in and we really take a look, we can see that here is an established range that it actually deviated below for several months before getting back inside. Now, this is one of my favorite trade setups here. When I see this on any time frame, a lot of the times, especially when you see a strong momentum candle moving in here, it's likely headed higher and probably at least to the top of this range. And what I like about silver right now is that, well, first of all, it is heavily used in various industries, so there's a high demand for it. But second, there's a lot of upside potential, especially if it clears this level here and starts to push up higher, because then we're looking at this range here, okay? So as a range on top of ranges. And again, if it rises from here, and let's say that it is able to make new all-time highs, you can see it's 100%, 110% to previous all-time highs. Now this pattern here looks very similar to what we saw here with the rise up, the drop down, the pullback, and then the parabolic run, okay? You can see that happening here as well. Now let's take a look at gold and see for comparison. Gold looks much stronger overall. You can see that it has been slow and steady, and as we know, slow and steady typically wins the race, but it's actually not that far off from its all-time highs, which happened just this year, earlier this year. It's only about 15% away from that. And if we look and we take a look, this candle here is very telling to me. It actually is a sign of potential manipulation with gold. I wonder why they would want to do that. And maybe it's because they're trying to stack as much as humanly possible. But you can see this candle has very long legs in both directions, both to the upside and to the downside. And it's sort of in that mid level, in between, in this range here, okay? So it's not quite certain, okay? And also it did break out here. We did get the deviation, broke back above, but we're already back near the middle of this range. So I do think that gold has more upside, but I'm leaning a little bit more towards silver right now. With that said, I'm not necessarily going to just go all in on silver. I definitely want to have some of gold, but I'm thinking more like 80-20, maybe 60-40 if I was being a little bit more conservative. So with that all squared away, the next logical question becomes where to buy the precious metals and in what form. And so I had to do some research myself because there are many options available online where you can purchase gold and silver, but there's different caveats. Some of them have great prices, but the spreads aren't so good. Some of them have great prices and spreads, but they're connected to governments such as Kitco. And I don't know about you, but I have some trust issues with the government, and I'm trying to get away from centralized control as much as humanly possible. So I opted for this website here. It's called goldsilver.com, and Mike Maloney is the creator here. And I don't know, I just like this guy and I trust him, and I have friends that use this website as well. This is not a promotion. I'm not being paid for this. He doesn't know that I'm doing this. But let's take a look here. Buy precious metals. I'm actually going to purchase some silver today, and I'm going to show you if you have the option between buying coins here, and you can buy 500 ounces at a time. You can buy silver bars, or there's this InstaVault Silver, which is basically the best option for those that want to quickly buy and sell it and that want the most flexibility. And you pay a fixed storage fee. It's 0.06%, I believe, per order. So per the total amount that you have, which works out to not much at all. And it is insured and it is protected by armed guards, and there are vaults. I think there's 5 vaults spread across the world, and you can have it in whichever vault you would like. So I'm actually going to choose some of this here, and let's do 4 right now. And you can see here, instant exposure to physical metal. It's held in your name, and you can buy and sell in fractional units, and you can actually convert it to whole individual coins and bars for delivery. So you can choose delivery later. Of course, there is a fee involved to have it shipped to you. And let's continue to cart. Now, what's novel about gold silver is that I can use cryptocurrency in addition to bank wire and personal check, credit, debit card, PayPal. There is a discount. The highest discount is for bank wire, personal check. Cryptocurrency is a 3% discount, but for this amount, actually the cost to wire money is going to be more than it would to paying cryptocurrency. And so I'm going to try a small order here. I'm going to continue to check out. Now this integrates with a wallet known as BitPay, and you basically need to pay in Bitcoin. So you have to be aware of the price fluctuations of Bitcoin, but once you have sent the funds over, it's relatively easy. I need to actually log in here. So I'm going to log into my account, and then I will basically pull up an invoice on BitPay. So I'm going to check out. I'm not an insider yet, and I don't have a special code. I'm choosing the InstaVault storage. It is 100% allocated to me, held in my name inside a secure class 3 vault. So continue to next step. Okay, I'm choosing cryptocurrency. I have a BitPay wallet. You need to have the Bitcoin already in your BitPay wallet. So know exactly how much you're going to be buying in advance, and then send it over to your Bitcoin address, just like you would any other wallet. It is a software wallet, so I don't keep my funds there unless I'm making a transfer such as this one. And now you have the option to complete your purchase with BitPay. I'm going to choose my payment currency, which is Bitcoin. And now notice this QR code that has been pulled up here. Now I can take my app on my phone and I can choose the QR scanner and simply scan there, fetching payment options. and it basically pulls up the amount and it tells me the exchange rate, and I can slide it over to send. So I'm just sliding and sending payment now. It says it's sending payment here. Oh, it just went through. Okay, so I paid that and I'll get my email receipt, and now my order is complete. So it was that simple. I just purchased about $100 worth of silver using Bitcoin directly. So I don't have to deal with banks. I don't have to even deal with holding stable coins. All in all, the process is incredibly simple and straightforward. It took me literally 2 minutes from start to finish. Of course, that is assuming that you already have deposited the amount in Bitcoin to your BitPay wallet prior to making the transaction. Now, one more thing to keep in mind, yes, you can sell at any time, but there is a spread. So there is a difference between the buy price and the sell price, and you can actually see that directly on the page where you choose the InstaVault gold or silver. It will tell you how much you can sell it for, and those prices are always changing. But right now, I believe there's a 6 to 7% difference between the buy and sell price. So it's definitely going to affect you if you try and sell it right away. Whereas with gold, I think it's less, closer to 2 or 3% of a spread there. So I am feeling like the price of gold and silver are going to go up a lot in the months and years to come, but you never know. It's pure speculation, and I don't have a magic crystal ball. But at the very least, it's a hedge against inflation. And I think the more we can diversify within reason, of course, the better off we'll be. And I had to learn this the hard way myself. I think that all investors go through this process. And for some of us, it's a little bit easier than others. It's easier to accept. Cryptocurrency is a wonderful technology, and it's very much a part of the future, but gold is the original technology, and it's a part of the past, the present, and the future. So I would be curious to hear your thoughts about how you're choosing to diversify. Did you find this information helpful? Is it something that you would apply, or do you have other strategies that you'd prefer to use? Maybe you prefer that I share other strategies as well. This is basically my bank. So this is my substitute bank. The money that I keep in the bank is the money that I need to pay my bills, okay? To pay my monthly bills. So I don't have a lot of money in the bank. I keep the rest in either in cryptocurrency to be traded or in gold and silver. I have some in Forex right now, but not a whole lot there. So that's how I'm diversifying and spreading out my risk, because even though I think the future is very bright for cryptocurrency, there's likely going to be some bumps along the way. We are in the middle of a war. And when you're in war, playing defense is more important than how you play offense. So again, I hope that you found this video helpful, and I plan to cover more topics like this one in the future. It's not always going to be about money and finance, because I believe that part of having wealth is having a sound mind and body, and so that your spirit can actually make the right decisions for you. If you're really sincere when it comes to learning more about cryptocurrency, start with Smart Money's Crypto Handbook, then try my trading courses. There's 5-in-1. It's $99 right now. I'm going to double that by the end of the year. And it's actually worth double that, in my humble opinion. There's a whole wealth of information about there. There's so many strategies that apply to so many different situations, whether it's a ranging market or a trending market. And it's also helpful if you're just an investor and you're looking to get an overall read on the charts, such as the gold and silver charts that I just shared with you. So again, the more you invest in yourself right now, the better off you'll be when things really turn around. The markets will turn around. The more you invest and you research and you learn about these different strategies, the more it will help you. So have a beautiful rest of your day.